So what we're going to work on is how to determine a missing measurement if you have area of a shape. So we're going to start with triangles. The first thing you need to remember is that the area formula for all triangles is 1/2 base times height. So in this case, this is my base, the height is unknown, and I do have the area. So I'm going to substitute the values that I have. The area is 5.7. So I'm going to use a decimal place here because I have a decimal in my work for 1/2. My base is actually 4.1 and I don't know my height. Just like any time I'm solving an equation, what I want to make sure is to simplify each side of the equation, meaning I want to simplify this expression before trying to solve. So my next step is to say 5.7 equals what 4.1 times 0.5 is. And that's 2.05 times the height. I divide by both sides by 2.05, just like I would when I solve any equation. And 5.7 divided by 2.05 is 2.78. This one says round to the nearest tenth, so I will round this to 2.8 equals the height, and that's centimeters. So I need to make sure I write 2.8 centimeters. All right, let's try that again. In this case, I have the height. I don't have the base. I do have the area. Area is 1/2 base times height. So I will write in 9.9 equals 1/2 times base times the height. I substitute the values that I have and I rewrite it. So now I'm going to simplify this expression, and 9.9 is equal to 1.9 times whatever the base is. I then divide both sides by 1.9. And my answer will be rounded to the nearest tenth, 5.2, so 5.2 meters. Notice that in both cases, my answer is in meters to the first power or centimeters to the first power because I'm just looking for an individual length and I'm not finding the area. Okay, let's look at the ones for trapezoids. Again, the first thing I want to do is make sure that I recall the area formula for a trapezoid is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times height. Because in a trapezoid, the two base lengths together make up what would have been the base length of the triangle. It's still half of a parallelogram. So I'm going to substitute my values. I don't have base 1. I do have base 2. I do have my height, and I have my area. So I'm going to rewrite and substitute the values in. 28.8 equals 0.5. I do not have base 1, so I'm just going to write that as a variable. I do have base 2, and I do have my height. To simplify this side, I want to make sure that I'm only using the values I can use together. I can combine, since this is multiplication, the 0.5 and the 6, and multiply those together using the commutative property and reordering that. So 3 times B1 plus 6.7. I would have to distribute in order to combine it with the 3. I'm not going to do that. Instead, I will divide both sides by 3 first because I want to get the B by itself. So 28.8 divided by 3 is 9.6. And that equals the B1 value, which I don't know, my variable, plus 6.7. My last step is to subtract that other base, and I get that base value is 9.6 minus 6.7, which equals 2.9. So that base 1, that missing base, is 2.9 centimeters. All right, let's try that again. This time we're missing the height. So the area equals 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. I'm going to substitute my values. 3.6 is the area. 1/2 I'm going to make into a decimal. I have the two bases. I'll say this is B1 and this is B2. It doesn't matter which one because, again, that's commutative. It could have been the other way around, but I am missing my height. So I want to make sure I use the order of operations, and I'm going to add the two values together. I'm going to add 1.8 plus 3.8 together first before I multiply. So that's 5.6, and then the height. Again, I'm going to continue to simplify. So 3.6 equals 5.6 divided by 2, or half of that, which is 2.8, times height. I divide by 2.8 on both sides to solve and to find out what the value of my height is. And 3.6 divided by 2.8 is approximately 1.3 when I round it. So 1.3 centimeters, approximately that. Okay, I hope that helped you understand how to determine the missing value when you are given either a triangle or a trapezoid and its area.